Hi FlossTube Stitchers. How's your April going? We've had a few nice days where I went without socks. Then we had days of just rain downpours that turned our backyard into a pond. And now my husband tells me we're expecting snow early this week. And so there's definitely a chill in the air again. And I thought it only appropriate that I show you 3 new wintry models on loan from my friend Phyllis W. The first is from Plum Street Samplers. It's called A Country Winter. And she did her stitching on 25 count vintage Stormy Night from Zweigart using, I'm sure, the suggested colors. With 2 strands of floss, and it looks so nice. And she agrees that sometimes it's fun to work on an easier fabric, especially when you're traveling or you're tired. So I really like this one. And also, we discussed this the other day, not everything has to be teeny tiny. So sometimes you just need to choose a different count fabric to get it to a better size. So anyway, that's one of these days I'm going to do this. I've seen it done several times. I love the deer and the snowman. They'd be really cute as separate ornaments, but I really like the whole picture. And especially in our neck of the woods, you can keep it out for months. All right. And then we have Snow Queen from Shepherd's Bush. And this is a $30 complete kit. So she stitched it on whatever was provided, and it includes the buttons and thread and everything. We don't have the kit in stock right now. I'll be reordering this now that we have a beautiful model. And all of these were custom framed here by Bonnie at Valley Framing. Then the third piece is Snowbird. I'm trying to get it without showing too much glare. I don't have anyone to hold my black board above me. This is With Thy Needle and Thread, and I'm pretty sure that she stitched it with suggested colors on probably one of the light coffee dyes from R&R, which Brenda uses a lot. So we're happy to have those on display. And then as far as my whips go, this is a total coincidence, but I stitched on all strawberry projects this week. The first was a continuation of what I started during Freebie February. The designer is Cosmic Handmade, and this is called Sweet Strawberry. I don't have the printed color chart, but you can kind of tell what's still missing from the piece. What I did this week was continue above the word strawberry. I think I had sweet done before, and maybe I think I had that bird done. So I added some more berries and greenery and another bird. So that's coming along. And this was on 16 fabric flare called Historic Beige. And I have that on order to get more in because it does kind of have a slight pinkish cast to it. And I've been all about looking for pink fabric these days. So I think it makes an interesting neutral. We'll get more of that. Then I wasn't planning on working on this project. You know how I kind of forget about things that I started, but it was in the same project bag as something else that I was thinking of working on this week, but then I realized I was missing a color, I think. So I just picked this out of the bag, and it's Strawberry Season by Yasmin's Made with Love. And I think it was last July that I started this one. And I'm doing it on Color and Cotton 28 count cashel in aged paper. Such a nice neutral. And I'm so sad because after this order, I was never able to get any other fabric from them. And I had ordered a couple neutrals at the same time, and I loved all of them. So I wish I could get them again in other counts. This is 28 cashel, And I'm trying to get the right angle so you can kind of see the color. And this week I added, I finished the white flowers, added some more yellow and a little bit more of the vine. And you know what else is so interesting about this fabric? Obviously, we don't know all the details that go into dyeing and what each company does differently, but this has such a rustic feel to it. It's it feels thicker, and I know it's a Zweigart base, so it should feel the same as the Zweigart 28 count solid colors, but it doesn't. And it's just fascinating to me how the fabrics can feel so different. Some are really smooth and soft, and some are a little rougher and more rustic, and it's all the same base fabric. So anyway, that's why I like working on so many different things. It's just fun. All right, so I'm gonna keep working on that. Then I have a finish. It actually was a start on Monday, and I started a little bit earlier in the evening than I normally do. So I think that's why I finished it so quickly. I showed it on Whip Wednesday, and all I had left to do were the little pink hearts in the corners. So I had everything else done. And this is Strawberry Quilt, which was one of the newer releases from Primrose Cottage. I'm doing it with a suggested DMC on 16 count strawberry cheesecake from Forbidden Fiber Co., which is like my new favorite color. We have found so many things to stitch on this lately. So I'm happy about that. Not sure how I want to finish it, but I do feel like I want to leave some fabric. It's, you know it's kind of a big piece of fabric, but I wanted to cut the fabric into, I want to say chunks. They're not exactly perfect squares, but I kind of wanted to cut it into pieces that would be easy to sell for a variety of projects and not keep cutting little tiny pieces that would leave me weird remnants. So I just cut a strip, that's like approximately 8.5-inch square or something. But anyway, I want to leave a little bit of the fabric showing because it's so pretty. I'm not sure how I'm going to finish it. Alrighty, so that was my stitching this week. And I need to get back to some of my Easter pieces because, oh my gosh, Easter is almost upon us. And I had some plans that didn't get finished. I knew they weren't going to be fully finished, but I had intended on stitching on them. So we'll try to get back to that. We got some new things this week. This was slightly delayed, probably because of the Nashville market. So we got the Atomic Ranch London Fog, which was the color of the month for March. And I don't have much left because people really liked this color. And so it sold, it just came a few days ago, but I have a lot of people already on automatic for it. And then of course, people saw it in the shop, and then I showed it on Facebook and Instagram. And so we've had quite a few requests for it. So I really think I only have one piece left, but we have found so many things that would go on this, especially there's like 3 tiny towns, possibly more, that would look good on this because we've seen it done on other shades of like a gray blue. So I'm just going to show you the 36. And I matched it up to, it looks like a, like between 762 and 415, somewhere in that vicinity of DMC. And the 32 count Belfast that came was the lightest, and this 36 Edinburgh was slightly dark, slightly darker than all the rest of the colors. And then I really think that the only thing I have left is this one piece of 16 count. But like I said, we're gonna get more. All right, then we got some new colors because of course I didn't get my act together. Well, that's not true. That's not exactly true. You can only be in so many lines at one time at market. So I just did not stand in line for fiber. So I had to reorder that or order the new colors along with a regular restock order after market. So I got some of that. And the first was from Classic Colorworks. And this is the cute little paper they put in with it. So they had kind of a theme this time. The colors were apple cider, green tea, and sparkling rosé. And that's what they look like together. Really pretty spring colors. And then another option for purchasing it is a thread pack for a design that Diane from Little House Needleworks did for it called Springtime. And this pack includes those 3 colors plus 2 more colors in order to stitch the whole design. So you can do it either way, or you can just buy individual skeins of floss as you need them. And then we also got the 2 new sampler threads from Gentle Art, Cerulean and Key Lime, and 2 new shaker threads, Chestnut and Eggplant. I guess I should have had these on that whiteboard too, but I think there's enough color there that you can see it. So our giveaway this week is going to be the 3-pack of Classic and the 4-pack from Gentle Art. I'll pick one winner for each. And what you can do is try to cleverly, or not, put in the words classic or gentle in whatever your comment is. And I'll have fun reading those comments, and then I'll pick it next week. I'm going to do both of those this week because I'm not sure I'll have a giveaway next Sunday. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to do a video on Easter weekend. I don't have any big plans right now, but it might be nice to have a weekend off. So typically we go to brunch on Sunday, or we go to dinner on Saturday night and go to a later church service. So we haven't decided what we're doing yet. So just in case, I'll just do 2 giveaways this week. All right, so that's that. And then the giveaway from last week was the Stitchers Trio chart with the sticker that matches it from Primrose. And the random number generator helped me choose the comment from Mary Good, which is interesting because I had already decided I was going to read her comment. I should tell you, the big winner on where you would put your sticker was in your stitching journal or planner. And then drinking vessel was a close second. And then other ones that got a few suggestions were to put it on your sewing machine, to put it on your stitching lamp pole, your little mini metal toolbox, or I guess it doesn't have to be metal, a project bag. So I thought about that. The first comment I read, I thought, oh, you would really stick it on the fabric? Like, would that really stay? And then somebody else mentioned a vinyl fronted project bag. So that made more sense. And then people have stitching carts. Somebody said they would put it on their laptop case, a file cabinet, a floss box, or somebody said, oh, they don't like to stick it to anything. They just put their stickers in their stitching tray to enjoy them. So anyway, this is what Mary said. The Home Stitch Home sticker would be a perfect addition to my stitching journal. I have a special hardcover journal to keep track of all my creative endeavors involving my cross-stitching, quilting, and knitting projects. I have all the information and a 2x3 picture of my fully finished projects on the pages. I have included all kinds of stickers and quotations to enhance my journal. One journal is filled up and I just started recording information in a second volume. Fun, she says, fun. I would love to see people's stitching journals. Every once in a while, somebody will post one in one of the Facebook groups I belong to, and I think it's fascinating. I told Mary in my comment back to her that I really had never thought of keeping track of my projects until I started doing social media, and especially after I started doing FlossTube videos, because people would ask me more details about the project. And I thought, oh goodness, I need to keep track of this so I can keep referring to it when people ask me. It's not like I say the information once and then I never need it again. I would love to see people's journals, and it's almost inspiring me to start one. I'm one of those people that likes to start something at the beginning, so January 1st or maybe April 1st, because that's my birthday month, or I don't know, I have a thing about just starting in the middle, and I know that's crazy because you just pick up a journal and start with whatever your current project is. I would also maybe have the notion to put my projects in alphabetical order by designer, and that's ridiculous because you wouldn't know how many pages to leave in between projects. So it's just a crazy mental block I have. Maybe if I did Mania again, or Freebie February, I suppose I could go back, since I have a good history of what I've done for Freebie Februaries. I could do a journal just of those because I have enough information written down and pictures taken to do that. But is that crazy or not? I never kept a diary as a kid either, or as a teenager, because I don't want anyone reading it. So not that my brothers or my mother was nosy or anything, but I don't know. I'm not really the type to keep a journal. So, but I'm fascinated by other people's, and I'd love to see what else they do in them. So maybe I should ask people to send me pictures through email, and I could include them at the end of a future video. Wouldn't that be fun to see? So there were a few other people that had interesting ideas. Shirley Hansen said, I would most likely turn it into a magnet so that I could move it around and enjoy it on my refrigerator or any metal surface. And Barbara Boyd said she puts stickers in her stitching planner, and she would put this house under the month of May for Mother's Day for family coming home. So I thought that was sweet. And then Chris Carver said, I have started putting stickers on my chart holders. Since most people see the back of the metallic chart stand, I've started putting them on the back. And I thought, well, that's a cute idea too. So I enjoyed reading all of those comments. So I'm going to tally up what I've done. I did this in two parts because I flubbed something up in the middle. So I'm going to go back and time this. And if I do have the ability to add some more information, I might show some new charts that I got this week. So I'll have to figure out how long this video is. Honestly, I don't know if it's coincidence or not, but my video could be 30 minutes and 27 seconds, and it will take twice as long as something that was under 30 minutes. So I do try to keep them to a certain amount of time. I wish somebody could tell me for sure if that's the truth or if it's my imagination or just a fluke, but it seems to be the case with my videos, so I like to keep them under 30. Okay, new charts that came from Hoffman Distributing, and I just realized none of these are priced, so I apologize, but I was not going to take the time tonight to do that. Apparently, I was only putting stickers on the ones that I pulled for special orders, and I guess I was going to get to the rest later. They really did just come a few days ago. So anyway, if you're interested, just ask me, or you could probably Google it and somebody will have the price on their website. So this is Cosford Rye Stitchery, Easter baskets and bonnets. And it looks like they're all stitched like in a chocolate brown color, which makes perfect sense for the chocolate eggs and bunnies. But can't you imagine a whole variety of color combinations for these designs? I would love to do each one differently. It even would be cute as like a bell pull type picture to have them all in a row. So anyway, I think I didn't open, the information's not on the back, and so I didn't open it up to see what it called for, but I just thought there were so many possibilities there. All right, the next few are from Jeanette Douglas. This is Chubby You. This was her new market release. one of them, but the newest one in the Chubby series. So she's really pretty, isn't she? And then I am so intrigued with this Happy Life set. I'm pretty sure I showed you the autumn and the winter already. I know there are sometimes months where I don't get that many new charts in and it doesn't deserve a segment. So I hope I have, but look them up if you haven't. But they're just really sweet little pillows, or they could be framed pictures. And there's 4 in each set. I'm sorry, there's 4 in each season so far. So there's 2 per chart. So that's set 1 for spring. And this is set 2. Then Little House has another one in their Bits and Pieces series. This is spring. And Farmhouse Kitchen. And this might be maybe my new favorite monthly series that I'm just getting in from Loohoo Stitches. It's all the My Father's House series. So this is January, and just notice the finishing. They're all slightly different, but they're so sweet and interesting. This is February. So if nobody steps up to stitch these right away, I might have to start this series. And then this is April. That's my birthday month, so maybe I could start with April and work from there. Then Madame Chantilly had some new ones. This is called Me and the Wolf. So it's Red Riding Hood in her tier fashion. And Rabbit in Lettuce. Spring Caroline. And Strawberry Jam. All right, then from the Proper Stitcher, some of these are probably a little older, but I didn't get them in. I either wasn't ordering towards the end of December, or I didn't order much in January, or they were out of stock. So I got more in her You series. So this is Mary You. This is Snow. And Love. And Happy You. And then these were 2 newer ones that I saw at market. He Saves Me and Trust in Him. I really like this one because of the bee skep, and the blue would look really nice in my house. All right, then a couple new ones from Shepherd's Bush. Home is Where We Start. And the new stocking, a little late. It just came out at market. So I know people start looking for it around September, October, and this one didn't come until March. And then Tiny Modernist, Mouse's Snow Day. This came out before market, I just didn't have it then. And this is done on another fabric flare called Stone Dyed Effect. And I don't think I've ever had that color, but one of my distributors carries it. So I think I'm gonna throw that in my shopping cart. That looks like a good neutral color. And then they have a Snow White tree. Then Tralala has a cat in winter and a cat in spring. Waxing Moon has spring mini rounds, and those are finished in hoops. So that just gives you, another inexpensive finish for a holiday where you're not spending a lot of money for something that's only going to be out for a little bit. And then the last thing, I almost hate to show you because so many people ask me just to mail them this, and I can't do it. The Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine. It is so heavy for the price. and then the binding needs to be protected. And the last time I priced this to mail to a customer, it was going to cost $8 to mail a $9.99 magazine. I don't know how the publisher does it, because I know they send out magazines on subscriptions, and maybe it's different coming from the publisher, but I can't do it. It requires too much careful packaging and insurance, and the protection against the binding, and then the weight of it. So it can only go with other product. But coincidentally, my favorite piece, there's a lot of really fun spring things, and there's a few bee things, but my favorite piece in this magazine is this, and now I forgot what it's called, bunnies. Oh my goodness, the Stitching Bunny. I just looked it up like a minute ago. The Stitching Bunny by Crochet Go-Go. And it's just so sweet. That would look really nice with my strawberry collection, because there are some sewing themes going on there. So I may have to stitch that. Whenever I see a tomato pin cushion or like a spool of thread with pins, I always think of my Nana, who was a professional seamstress. So those kind of charts really jump out at me. So, okay, that was all the new that we got this week. So enjoy your week. I hope you don't get snow wherever you are, because we're just done with it, right? I hope you have a good week, get some stitching done, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.